Hello, hey, this is Bill from Racing Marbles. Wanted to share some information with you today. We have given away a free set, and we have people now printing some of these, some of our racetrack. And because of that, I wanted to put together a short video that explains how the track goes together and how we use some of the components. So that's what we're going to do here, and I appreciate you watching. If you have questions, let us know in the comments below, and we'll take care of those. So we'll explain the track real quick. Then there's a start line that we'll talk about, and there's a booster that we'll talk about, and how they all work together. Our track is pretty simple, and you can print it if you have a 3D printer. The files are available at our Etsy site. I'll make a link below in the comment section for that. But track is straightforward to assemble, and pretty much it is a piece of track that clips together with a clip. And the design is pretty simple. The track, there's a couple pieces. There's a straight. This is 150 millimeters long, and then we have a radius 2 curve, which is what comes with this initial set. But if you get the files, there's also a radius 1 turn, which is pretty much the inside of that. It's a much shorter, tighter curve. Anyway, to assemble this, all you do is you take the clip that's available there, and you clip it on the side, and then just clip in the next piece, and that is how the track is assembled. Very simple, very straightforward. The same exact thing for the corners. Clip it together and snap it together, and there you have how the track goes together. And I'm going to assemble today the entire setup so that you can see what our booster base set really is. So 2 weeks ago, we attended a show in Utah where we ran marble races and had a good time. But one of the things we did, it was a fundraiser for us so that we can start making money so we can actually sell this product as a set and as kits. That is not just 3D printed, but it's injection molded, and like you'd buy a regular, maybe a slot car set would be an example. But it'd be a racing marble set. So anyway, we're working on that, and while we were there, we gave away a set, and this is what it really contains. There are 10 corner pieces and 14 straight pieces, and that allows you to make a couple different things. We're going to build the figure 8 track today, and so it should be pretty fun to see how that works. And then, if there's questions, like I said, let us know in the comments. Some of this is pre-assembled. A couple of pieces are already put together. It was done just to help me make this a little bit quicker, and so we'll do that. I put this one on backwards. Let's do this. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'll quickly assemble this, and then I'll talk about the starting grid, which is this component here. It will be over in this area. All right, as you can see, once it's all snapped together, it's actually quite rigid. There is some flex to it, but this track is really pretty sturdy. It's about 3 millimeters thick, and so it's actually quite rigid. You can drop it, you can step on it, that type of thing. It should not break. So anyways, it's pretty durable for what it is, a 3D printed product. But again, like I said, we're going to try to get this injection molded, so it's made out of an ABS plastic, which would be much more rigid, much more strong, I guess is the better word for it, okay? All right, there's a corner. I'm going to add these pieces over here. All right. I'll put this on already, but this is going to be, this is our booster. This is what's going to propel the marble through the track. And let me get that installed real quickly on here. And I'm just going to put a little support underneath it. But this is going to be the low spot of the track. I'm going to build the track flat, and there's a reason for that. It just makes it easier to assemble everything together. And then once that's done, I'll add elevation to it, and we'll show you how that works too. But like I said, it's pretty simple. This is designed to be put together by even children. And so really something that can be done. You can put this together. I'm putting it together on the kitchen table. So, it's something you could do and sit around as a family and have a good time and have some marble races. So you don't have to be a scientist to be able to come up with some type of track, or you don't have to make it out of cardboard or anything. That's the goal. We'll make it something that's really durable and works really well. All right, I'm going to put the start line on. And this is going to be shooting the marble up, and then it's going to increase in elevation, and then from here it will start to decrease in elevation. And so gravity will bring the marbles back to the start line. So let's get this stuff on here. And there we go. Okay. So that looks pretty good. So there is the track. Those are all the track pieces that come in the set. The booster comes in the set, the start line comes in the set, and pretty much you'll be able to race marbles at this point. So the elevation, though, it can be set up in multiple different ways. We recommend using either like Lego or Duplo blocks, or even boxes that you might get from Amazon, or books. And we're going to use books today, just make it easy. And so I'm going to start with that. I'm just going to put some books under this far side here. This is going to be the high point of the track. We'll put some books underneath the start line. We'll put some books right here. And so that there's elevation for the marbles to pass through, I'll do something like that. Okay, so pretty much I want to make sure that there's clearance through here so that the marbles can pass through without any hindrance. And then, like I said, high spot here, the marbles will travel down, and I want to make sure that they're going to get all the way to here. I'll just take a marble, I'll drop it on the track, make sure that it will go all the way to the booster, which it does. All right, let me get that out of there. And that looks good. When you set up a track, you want to make sure that there's no flat spots where the marbles can stop and just stall. So you're going to either have an elevation or a decrease, or I don't know what you call it. Anyways, and that's what we'll make sure we have here. We did that with the marble. Now we'll talk about the start line. The start line is a manual start line that allows you to race up to 10 marbles and put them in a grid, so you can start one in a favorable position compared to another one. That's if you want to do that, of course, but start line is a spring-loaded device, and it has a little pin here that allows you to place it in a position here, and then we'll place some marbles on. Oh, wait, you know what, before I do that, I need to explain about this, because we're going to need to make this in just a minute. Okay, so the booster is probably the key to this whole build. To be able to do multiple laps, you need to be able to raise the marbles back to the original elevation or the high point of the track. Or if you just wanted to do a gravity race, you don't need the booster, but this particular set is with the booster, so I'll show you how it works. The booster is electrical. It has an electric motor in it that runs a drive shaft that has a rubber wheel on it, and that rubber wheel will make contact with the marble and propel it up the track. So it's really very simple, actually. It's a 6-volt system, so it's a low voltage system. It's in essence the equivalent of 4 AA batteries, and so. But it does plug into the wall, and this will reduce the voltage from your wall down to 6 volts that goes into the booster. So I'm going to plug that in. I'll run the cable underneath here, and then it just plugs in here, just like your laptop would. It's the same concept. And then there's a knob on the side here that is an on-off switch, and then also it is a speed control. The speed control will allow us to have different speeds of that wheel rotating inside the device. And so we're going to test that real quick. So we want to make sure that that will propel the marble up over the highest point of the track so that it can come down again. So I'll turn on the speed and we'll see if it actually will propel it up the hill. And it didn't. So I need to increase the speed. Let's try that. Still not. So let's increase the speed some more. And now, oops. I'm not going to get that one. I'm going to try the marble. All right, here we go. Now, so this speed, the speed control will control the speed of that rotating wheel. And even though it's 6 volts, not very powerful, it still will get the wheel rotating fast enough that you can shoot the marble right off the track. So you have to be able to control that speed for the particular track that you're making. If you had a track that was really long and had a high elevation to climb, you could turn it on so that it does that. You probably want to have a straight run and not curves in that process. A good example would be the race that we did, race number 5. I'm going to turn this off. Race number 5 in season 2 of the RML. You'll see that we had a little booster at the bottom that shot up a really long straight and then into some curves where it started to come back down via gravity. So it's the same concept, same booster that we're going to be providing. Okay, these are will be available on our site in the next several weeks, but right now they're not available until we get them all finished and built and everything. We're making about a half dozen of them to start with, see if anybody's interested. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this back on, make sure that we have the speed that we need, and then I'll put them in the starting grid and we'll get a little race going. All right, I think that will be good enough. All right, I'm going to get the start line in position. We'll drop the marbles into it. I lost that one marble over there, so we'll do 9 marbles at the moment. In here, you just drop them in place. There's actual numbers right on here that tell you which position they are in. And then we'll get started. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, lost another one. Anyways, and there you go. You have multiple laps. You can race marbles and do it as a family around the dinner table and just have a great time. So hopefully this is a good informational video for you so that you can see how it goes together, how the components work, and anyways, if you're interested, stay with us. We're going to be doing a Kickstarter in the near future here to raise the funds we need to get this made as a product and something you can take home and to buy and take home and use as a family. All right, thank you very much.